Hi, everyone. I am so thrilled to share with you a conversation with my friend, Dr. Barbara Dunn. She is a music therapist and she is also a performing artist, and she's a recording artist, and she's a choir director, and she's an incredible MC and host for all things performance and music. And I actually saw her in a theatrical production this past fall. So, I mean, she's just all over the place with the arts, but she is doing something so interesting on top of all those interesting things that is relevant to these times. And Barbara, welcome.
Thank you, Sarri.
Thank you for all the
Great to be
things that
here.
you're doing. I kind of feel like you're the person that was born ready for this moment in time that we find ourselves in the United States. I feel like you have been having deep political conversations and questions for much of your life, and you have found a way now to combine your music with those concerns. So tell me what the Music Brigade is.
Okay. The Music Brigade is a way to use music to respond to this moment in our uh, what I feel like I have to back up actually
Okay,
because
go ahead.
I apologize if you said it before, but it doesn't this doesn't come out of just my music. That I've spent a lot of time on conflict resolution and using music as part of a way to cross the divide, how to help us feel different. I'm a therapist. I'm a music therapist. My doctorate work was on using music to address conflict, and I was really focused on using that in more of a political way and in our communities. And I haven't really delved into that as much as I would have liked. I've certainly included that in my therapy practice, in my
Mhm.
psychotherapy and music therapy practice. But this moment in time, well, I started this work when we invaded Iraq in 2003. So
Mhm.
I started really delving into using music as a way to respond to conflict in our world of violence. And so, yes, this moment is exponentially intense. So, I mean, it's been relevant all along, and I feel it has a special place right now. And the Music Brigade is part of our pro democracy coalition that is here in Whidbey that includes um, probably about four different groups: the Indivisible Whidbey and SOS Whidbey and the League of Women Voters. We have several groups just joining together to combine our efforts, and so we've put together uh, the protests, the No Kings protests, and we just did a big benefit concert. And so
Say
the
more about the benefit concert. First of all, that was kind of your vision, and talk about what it took to put that together from behind the scenes. Because,
okay.
take people through that because I think other people want to organize and I think they want to get involved. And I think hearing your story will inspire people to figure out how to use their skills and talents to do that.
Right. Yeah, it was a benefit that we did in November this past year when the SNAP benefits, SNAP subsidies were going to be taken away, and by and large they've been reduced with the bill that happened in the summer. I won't call it what they call it because it's anything but beautiful. And so it was to we decided that in food insecurity was something we were going to address head on in our community. And we have our Whidbey Island, as you know, is long. It's about more than 60 miles long. We have a larger population and a military base in the north, and then I live in the south, and where there's more It's just smaller communities. But we wanted it to be island wide because we felt like there was maybe even more food insecurity up in the north. So we were actually on a call debriefing from the protest, the No Kings protest in October, and someone we talked about food insecurity and wanting to address it. And so I said, well, why don't we just do a benefit concert? Because it could be quick and easy.
I'm
And
laughing because I know what it takes for you to do this, and easy
yeah,
is not a word I'd pick, but go ahead.
it wasn't. But in my mind, where it was in the evening, I wasn't really thinking it through. I was just thinking, like, I have a studio in Langley, and I have little small concerts there, maybe 50
At
people.
Hummingbird Studio. Yeah.
Hummingbird Studio, yes. And so I was thinking, oh, we'll just have a little small concert there
That
and
maybe
raise some money.
held 50 people.
Right, right. And man, some of these women, it's mostly women on this steering committee, are so dynamic. So within, it seemed like seconds, they were organizing how could we get the money, what kind of, how would we funnel the money in, can we put a poster up right now and start collecting money for food insecurity. We ended up using an organization that was already in existence that collected the money and dispersed it amongst all the food groups across the island. So that was great. We didn't have to do that, but all the pieces, and we ended up doing it in the high school in Coopville, which holds like 300 to 400 people, and we ended up with over 350 people. And everyone I asked if they wanted to, I know quite a few musicians on the island and tried to reach musicians north as well. Everyone I asked said yes. And, and initially I said, well, 2 to 3 songs probably. And then I realized it was going to be like a 5-hour concert. So they were very gracious. We had wonderful musicians. Everybody did one song. We did a song together at the end. We had a dance group in there. Everybody showed up. And it was just beautiful. And it took a lot. And, oh, yeah, you said that it's not easy. Well, we couldn't get into the building until 2 hours before the show started. And that was to set up the sound and do a sound check. And as we were doing the sound check, people started filing in to sit down because I had forgot to close the door. So anyway, it was a lot of effort, and it was just incredible.
How much money
Um,
did you raise?
we raised over $10,000. Yes, I know, I know.
Wow.
It was
Wow.
amazing. Yeah.
Well, this is what is possible when you are so clear about your mission and your vision, because it was so clear that even as you describe what happened, that the immediate urgent need of SNAP benefits being cut, eliminated, or reduced is the driving force. And that it was like, no, no, we cannot have people on our island not have food. And moving
Yep.
forward from there. And it really wasn't about, I want to put on a show and bring people together. It was more, I want to raise money and have a benefit concert. And you led with that foot and you brought together so many partners. Can you even count how many partners you had for this?
No.
And
No, we
it's the
had
kind
about,
of event
well,
that people would plan months for.
yeah, we had a couple weeks. Um,
Shows you
so
what's possible.
that part was, yeah, quick. But so many people joined in, and we had food in the lobby, and I had musicians playing as people came in. Um, yeah,
But
there
you've
was,
been collecting, I want to back up and say to people that every concert that I've been to at Hummingbird Studio, you've always collected food
yes,
as well as a donation for the food banks. And so again, I don't, I think that you were ready for all of this. I think that there's something about all your practices that you have been doing all along very consistently, like you say, for decades, very consistently, allowed you to feel very prepared to move forward and to manifest how you were going to respond in this moment, in these times. And the thing about you, Barbara, is it's not about you, is you always invite everybody in. I used to attend these community sing-alongs that you used to
Oh my
lead
gosh.
in the Brayburn restaurant, right? At night
The
when they would
Raven.
close.
It was called the Raven.
It
Yeah.
was called the Raven before the Brayburn.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so it was the Raven restaurant, and you would be in there, and sometimes Bob Efforts, and the two of you were leading us all in songs and chants and sing along. And I understand the Music Brigade is continuing. So tell us what the continuation is now looking like.
Okay. Yeah. So just to give a little broader context, so the coalition, and particularly Indivisible Whidbey, has been very welcoming and uh, in me bringing music in whatever ways seems to work. So one of the thoughts was to have a regular group that met and just see where it goes, and also have a ready group to perform at the rallies. So basically, where it's at right now, I just want to put that in the context because it's still evolving, and what I'm most committed to is meeting this moment. I'm not sure exactly what role that's going to take and where the music is going to go, where I'm going to go with it, but I want to show up right now. To me, this is a 5 alarm fire, and it's so many friends.
Well, the music to me feels really important because what I experienced the two times that I've been at protests with you singing and listening to you singing and watching the response and joining in has been this experience of um, creating nonviolence. And that to me is why the music that you're doing at protests and in protest is so important because I do think it creates a tone of non-violence and helps hold that energy in a different way and in a way that feels like it allows people to participate. They can sing along. They can bang on a drum if they want, right? They can do that. But it does set a tone of nonviolence. And I also think there's a long history in our country of protest with song.
Yes, yes, and I think there's even more that can happen with it. So again, this is the broader context. Like if you recall at our No Kings rally, there was a group of women that dressed up as handmaids, and they walked on the bridge, and it was so powerful. And I didn't
It
know
was
that they were going to.
breathtaking.
I didn't know they were going to do that, and had I known, I think it could have been so incredible to have a solo instrument play as they would have walked across the stage instead of, we didn't know, so we were singing whatever. So so to put all that in a thoughtful package, I think is really important. Paying attention to what is the mood right now, what do people need to hear, what are the songs that people need to be singing. And so that's the broader context of bringing music to this movement. The Music Brigade is a group that's meeting once a month, and as you know, Sarri, if you set up the context and the infrastructure for the group, the rest will happen. So the hard part's done. We're meeting the second Wednesday of the month from 2 to 4 at Trinity Lutheran Church in Freeland, and they've been just lovely and gracious in inviting us to do that. So we are meeting for these 2 hours once a month, and basically it's a pretty open group. So anybody is welcome to come. We have a email list, so we keep in touch that way. But we're doing a kind of a round robin, bringing songs to share that are songs that speak to the moment, protest songs,
Mm.
songs about humanity, and anybody can bring a song to share. And the the request is that it's a song people can join in on. That's not a time for a solo song. That might happen at another time. We might have a song circle of original music inspired by this moment. But that's not what this is about. The Music Brigade is about us coming together and joining in and joining together, joining our voices.
And
So,
learning protest songs
yeah, yeah. So we're sharing
together.
protest songs. And then
Hmm.
another piece of it is that we are developing a set list or a song list. So some of the songs have real staying power. So then we circle back and we're working on harmonies and instrumentation and just delving a little deeper in the musicality of the song and making it something a little more than just something we've passed through singing. And we are available for the for protests, for rallies, for meetings, for different things that the coalition groups are offering. Like it might be nice to open with a song or open with something instrumental, depending on what's needed. So we're kind of, I don't know, as you'd see, like I think of Johnny Carson. I'm so old, right? But the band that plays it, that's there to be part of the scene. So
I
we're doing
love
that.
this. I am so excited about this. Like when I first saw the dates that you were doing it, I was just like, oh, bummer. I work during those hours. And then I thought about it, and the more and more pain I felt around what I keep seeing in the news and what's happening in our country to people, the more I felt like I think I just need to change my schedule so that I can show up in some way to sing in the background, whatever. But it isn't just singing to me because for me, there's some kind of healing, there's some kind of uh, good feeling of coming together with others who also feel this way. And the words and music all through time, through many countries that have sustained people in some of the darkest, darkest hours. I know how much music has been a sustainer
Yeah,
and a healer. And sort of like when nothing is left, that is often what is left is that voice that comes up and sings from within. And um, and I think this is a very deep thing that you're offering and doing. And I know that many communities that people are listening from all over the place. And I know that Indivisible is all over the place. And so there are other groups that could be formed and may already be formed. And I just really want to encourage everybody out there to find ways to participate in ways that are meaningful to you.
yeah, yeah. So, Sarah, as you were talking, this vision always, this image keeps coming, always comes up for me as, the Grinch, how the Grinch Stole Christmas, that movie,
Hmm.
or the scene, the end scene where everybody in Whoville is holding hands and singing around a tree that's no longer there. They have no presents. They have nothing in their homes. Everything's gone, and they are in community and they're singing. That to me kind of is the picture of it. When all else when all else is questionable or challenged, we have that humanity, we have that compassion we can share with each other. And I love the quote, when the wound is tired of crying, it will sing.
Hmm.
Something along those lines. But that
Hmm.
we have this way of getting through. We still have to do the other work, for sure. We have
Yeah,
to do
it's not a substitute. It's a both and, it's an everything and, but it is, um, I think that there's, so many areas under attack in this country right now and
Yeah.
have been for a while that it can feel paralyzing and finding the ways that feel right for you is what it is. And finding when you have the energy for it. Because I think the grief is so large for all of us that there are
Yeah.
times when you may not have the energy. And that's when you kind of look to someone else and say, you know, their voice can go louder for you in that
Yeah.
moment. And so I'm
Yeah.
so grateful that you are doing this. And I also know that you were born to do this. I know that this has been deep soul work for you coming forward for a long time. And I appreciate that.
Thanks. Well, I really do draw on the therapy stuff as well. I know that you understand this probably more than anyone. That we can't show up if we're charged, if we're overextended or maxed. So music is a great way to self-regulate and
Mm.
to calm that nervous system. Whether it's singing really loud, hitting a drum, or singing really soft, and just when when I'm really upset, I just go to my piano and I can spend hours singing the same song over and over and just dropping in. And so music can go into so many different directions, and that's kind of the crux of using it as a tool. It can speak when the words are not doing it, when our actions are still not creating what we need. So it's an accompaniment.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for what you are doing and keep singing.
Okay. You too. You too, Sari.
I will. And I will be joining you.
Yay. Yay.
Yay. And to everyone listening, we'd love to hear any ideas that you have about ways that you have found that have been moving and meaningful for you in this time. And otherwise, like Barbara said, even if there isn't like a group that you have available to you, you can there music is available. And so you can always sing along.
Yes.
So sing along, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Sari.